The year 2016 marked a significant turning point in the realm of cyber attacks. A new breed of threat emerged, one that exploited the burgeoning Internet of Things landscape, which was rapidly expanding into homes and businesses. This was the Mirai Botnet, a malicious software program that enslaved vulnerable IoT devices, turning them into unwitting accomplices in cyber warfare. It unleashed a wave of unprecedented distributed denial of service attacks, overwhelming servers and networks with traffic. These attacks crippled major websites and disrupted internet access for millions of users, causing widespread frustration and chaos. The Mirai Botnet attack served as a stark wake-up call to the cybersecurity community and the world at large, highlighting the urgent need for better security measures. It exposed the fragility of our increasingly interconnected world, where digital and physical realms are deeply intertwined. The Mirai attack was not just a technological feat, it was a paradigm shift in how we perceive and address cyber threats. It underscored the vulnerability of the expanding digital ecosystem, where even the most mundane devices could be weaponized. Previously, DDoS attacks primarily targeted computers and servers, focusing on traditional IT infrastructure. Mirai, however, demonstrated the potential for even the most innocuous devices, such as webcams and routers, to be weaponized. This included digital video recorders, webcams, and routers, which were often overlooked in security protocols. These devices, often secured with the default passwords and lacking basic security updates, became easy prey for Mirai's insidious code, highlighting a critical oversight in IoT security. The impact of the Mirai Botnet attack was profound and far-reaching, affecting a wide range of services and industries. It disrupted major online services, causing widespread inconvenience and significant financial losses, shaking the confidence of users and businesses alike. More importantly, it exposed the vulnerability of critical infrastructure, which is essential for the functioning of modern society. This included power grids and communication networks, which are foundational to our daily lives and economic stability. The attack served as a stark reminder that the security of our physical world is increasingly intertwined with the security of our digital infrastructure, necessitating a holistic approach to cybersecurity. The Mirai attack was a watershed moment in cybersecurity, marking a new era of cyber threats that require innovative and comprehensive defense strategies. It forced the world to confront the reality that the Internet of Things, while promising convenience and connectivity, also introduced new and unforeseen risks that must be managed. The attack highlighted the need for a fundamental shift in how we approach cybersecurity, one that recognizes the interconnectedness of our digital and physical worlds and prioritizes security as an integral part of device design and deployment, ensuring a safer future for all. The Internet of Things has emerged as a transformative force in the 21st century, connecting everyday devices to the Internet and enabling a seamless exchange of data. This interconnected web of devices has revolutionized how we interact with technology, making our lives more integrated and efficient. From smart homes and wearable fitness trackers to industrial sensors and connected cars, the IoT has permeated every aspect of our lives, promising increased efficiency, convenience, and automation. These devices are designed to make our daily routines smoother and more manageable. However, this rapid proliferation of connected devices has also created an expansive attack surface for cybercriminals. The more devices we connect, the more opportunities there are for malicious actors to exploit vulnerabilities. IoT devices, unlike traditional computers and smartphones, are often designed with functionality and cost-effectiveness as primary considerations. This focus on usability and affordability often comes at the expense of robust security measures. Security is often an afterthought, leaving these devices vulnerable to a wide range of cyber threats. Hackers can easily exploit these weaknesses to gain unauthorized access. Many IoT devices come with default usernames and passwords, which are easily guessable and provide hackers with an open door to compromise these devices. This lack of basic security hygiene is a significant risk. Manufacturers often prioritize bringing products to market quickly, neglecting to implement robust security features or provide timely software updates to patch vulnerabilities. This rush to market can leave devices exposed to threats. The lack of standardized security protocols and the use of outdated operating systems further exacerbate the vulnerabilities inherent in IoT devices. Without consistent security standards, each device becomes a potential weak link. The sheer number and diversity of IoT devices make it challenging to implement and manage security measures effectively. Each device requires individual attention and protection. Moreover, the distributed nature of IoT networks, often spanning homes, businesses, and critical infrastructure, makes it difficult to monitor and control access to these devices. This widespread distribution complicates security efforts. The convergence of these factors has created a perfect storm for cybercriminals, who are increasingly targeting IoT devices to create botnets, launch DDoS attacks, steal sensitive data, and gain unauthorized access to networks. The potential for large-scale disruption is significant. The Mirai Botnet attack served as a stark reminder of the potential consequences of neglecting IoT security. This attack highlighted the vulnerabilities that can be exploited on a massive scale. It highlighted the urgent need for a multi-pronged approach to address these vulnerabilities and secure the expanding IoT landscape. Collaboration between manufacturers, security experts, and policymakers is essential. This includes implementing strong authentication mechanisms, providing regular security updates, and adopting industry-wide security standards. Only through comprehensive and coordinated efforts can we hope to secure the future of IoT. The Mirai Botnet, named after the Japanese word for future, emerged as a formidable force in the cybercrime underworld, exploiting the inherent weaknesses of IoT devices to create a vast army of compromised devices. Unlike traditional botnets that relied on infecting computers with malware, Mirai targeted the often overlooked world of internet-connected devices such as routers, webcams, and DVRs. These devices, often secured with default passwords and lacking basic security updates, became easy prey for Mirai's insidious code. Mirai's modus operandi was deceptively simple yet ruthlessly effective. The botnet's creators, a group of young hackers motivated by financial gain and online notoriety, scanned the internet for vulnerable IoT devices. Once identified, Mirai would attempt to log in using a list of commonly used default usernames and passwords. If successful, the device would become infected with the Mirai malware, adding it to the botnet's growing army of compromised devices. The infected devices, now under the control of the Mirai Botnet, could be commanded to launch various cyber attacks, the most common being distributed denial-of-service attacks. These attacks involve flooding a target server with an overwhelming amount of traffic from multiple sources, rendering the server and its associated services inaccessible to legitimate users. The sheer scale of the Mirai Botnet, estimated to have enslaved hundreds of thousands of devices, gave it unprecedented firepower to launch massive DDoS attacks. Mirai's ability to exploit the weakest link in the cybersecurity chain, the often overlooked IoT devices, highlighted a fundamental shift in the threat landscape. It demonstrated that even the most innocuous devices, when compromised, could be weaponized to cause significant disruption and damage. The Mirai Botnet attack served as a wake-up call to the cybersecurity community, forcing a reassessment of security practices and a renewed focus on securing the expanding IoT ecosystem. In September 2016, the cybersecurity world took notice as Brian Krebs, a renowned security journalist known for his investigative reporting on cybercrime, became the target of a massive DDoS attack. This event marked a significant moment in the history of cybersecurity, drawing attention to the vulnerabilities even the most secure websites could face. Krebs' website, Krebs on Security, a trusted source of information on cybersecurity threats and vulnerabilities, was bombarded with an unprecedented amount of traffic, overwhelming its servers and knocking it offline. This attack was not just a technical assault, but a direct hit on a vital source of information for the cybersecurity community. The attack was unlike anything seen before, both in its scale and sophistication. It was a clear indication that cybercriminals were becoming more advanced and their methods more destructive. The assault on Krebs' website was a harbinger of things to come, a taste of the Mirai Botnet's destructive capabilities. This botnet would soon become infamous for its ability to harness the power of countless compromised devices. The attack traffic originated from a vast network of compromised IoT devices, later identified as the Mirai Botnet. These devices, ranging from security cameras to home routers, were hijacked and used without their owner's knowledge. These devices, enslaved by the malware, were unwittingly turned into weapons, flooding Krebs' website with a deluge of junk data, effectively silencing his voice in the cybersecurity community. This incident highlighted the ease with which everyday devices could be turned into tools of cyber warfare. The attack on Krebs on security served as a wake-up call to the cybersecurity community, highlighting the growing threat posed by botnets like Mirai. It underscored the need for better security measures and more robust defenses against such attacks. It demonstrated that even well-protected websites were vulnerable to the sheer firepower of a large-scale DDoS attack originating from a botnet of compromised IoT devices. This realization prompted a re-evaluation of existing security protocols and strategies. The attack also underscored the vulnerability of individuals and organizations that rely on the internet for their livelihoods, as well as the potential for such attacks to stifle free speech and disrupt the flow of information. The implications were far-reaching, affecting not just businesses but also the very fabric of digital communication. The attack on Brian Krebs was not an isolated incident. It was part of a larger trend of escalating cyber threats that were becoming more frequent and more severe. It was followed by a series of increasingly larger and more disruptive DDoS attacks, culminating in the attack on DIN, a major DNS provider, which crippled internet access for millions of users across the United States and Europe. This event demonstrated the interconnected nature of the internet and how a single point of failure could have widespread consequences. These attacks demonstrated the growing sophistication and destructive potential of botnets like Mirai, and the urgent need for a coordinated global effort to address the security challenges posed by the rapidly expanding IoT landscape. The cybersecurity community was called to action, recognizing that only through collaboration and innovation could such threats be mitigated.